Why is Natrona County paying $1.3 million for one flight per day? The Wyoming caucus outlines its legislative strategy for the upcoming session. And bears in Japan are like bears in Wyoming, except they attack people a lot more. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. Some local officials are questioning a deal that saw Natrona County and Casper pay more than $1.3 million last year to guarantee a single Skywest flight in and out of the local airport. Cowboy State Daily's Dale Killingbeck reports that some members of the Natrona County Commission want more information about that annual deal that maintains the Skywest flights, while a few Casper City Council members question whether the current level of service does much to boost passenger numbers.
Skywest Airlines to continue a flight from Casper to Salt Lake City is going to continue to need funding, which in the past year for the county was more than $1 million. They got reimbursed a little bit of that, so the net cost they had was about $800,000. And from talking with county commissioners, their support, which has been pretty solid in the past, is not so solid right now.
A representative for Skywest Airlines told the Casper City Council that those air service guarantees will be needed at least through 2025. Wyoming solutions for Wyoming problems has become a mantra in legislative circles, so much so that it probably could be printed on hats and T-shirts for the Wyoming caucus, a contingency of State House Republicans. Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson asked leading members of the Wyoming caucus what those Wyoming problems actually are.
I talked to a few different members of the caucus, and what they really said is it comes down to what issues their constituents are bringing to their attention. And if they're not getting these issues brought to their attention very much or at all, they're probably not going to consider it much of a Wyoming problem.
Wolfson said that property taxes, parental rights, and transgender issues are at the top of the list for many lawmakers. A who's who of U.S. energy companies are putting up half of a $50 million partnership with the University of Wyoming to pump the hidden oil and gas in Wyoming's mature oil fields. Cowboy State Daily's Pat Mayo reports that the University of Wyoming has partnered with major energy and chemical giants to develop new technologies to squeeze more oil and gas from wells difficult to pump out.
It's an interesting program. It's the state kicking in $25 million, and then big oil companies kicking in another $25 million. So you got 50 altogether. These are big companies too that are throwing in money, like Dow Chemical, Devon, Occidental. It's very rare that you ever see this kind of money go into studying new ways to develop getting enhanced recovery techniques like this.
The partnership is expected to put Wyoming on the map for researching enhanced oil recovery techniques. I'll be back with more news right after this.
At Hilltop Bank, we understand that buying a home is a big decision. That's why we're here to be your trusted partner on the path to home ownership. Our experienced mortgage team will guide you every step of the way, from pre-approval to closing. We offer competitive rates and a wide variety of home loan options to best suit your needs. With our local knowledge and personalized service, you'll feel confident and comfortable throughout the entire home buying process. Contact us today to start your journey toward home ownership. Hilltop Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A Sheridan woman who was found dead in her home Sunday has been identified as 64-year-old Leonilla Melvin. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that the victim's son, 22-year-old Israel Melvin, is suspected of her murder.
The Sheridan County Coroner, Dr. Bird, contacted me Thursday and said he was ready to reveal the victim's identity, and he also confirmed that it was the suspected killer's mother.
Melvin was found dead from apparent blunt force trauma. Israel Melvin was already in jail on drug charges when his mother's body was discovered. He now faces a second-degree murder charge in Sheridan Circuit Court. If he's convicted of that crime, he'll face between 20 years and life in prison. And Japan has just recorded its worst year ever for bear attacks on people. Between April and November 2023, Japan's Environment Ministry recorded 193 bear attacks on people, and 6 were fatal. But Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports that the researchers he spoke to say bears in Japan are more likely to attack humans than are the bears in the greater Yellowstone area.
They think it might be because in mainland Asia, the black bears evolved and lived alongside big feline predators like tigers, critters like that. So in order to survive, they just had to be meaner than our black bears over here.
Many of the attacks involved Asiatic black bears, which are quite similar to Wyoming's black bears, but more aggressive. And that's today's news. You can get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.